If I had broken-edged and jagged rhymes to deck the bottom of the pit, the bitter end of these concentric crags, rhymes to press the juice of acid thoughts, I'd start to speak without such fretfulness. Lacking them, I stammer, hardly fit for infant tongues lisping out their mammas, or crooning jests try to show the black and gnarled root far underneath the cosmos. I call those ladies who once made their pact with Amphion at Thebes' walls to keep the witness of my verse true to the facts. Misshapen souls, outcasts in the deep chasm where all human language fails. Better you were born as goats or sheep. On the bedrock of that dismal well, under the giant's footprints where I stared, back up to where the steep embankment fell, sharply above, I heard, "But do take care, for these heads that lie under your feet are brothers, petrified and hammered here." I turned and saw a glittering frozen sheet, ice so hard to lack the faintest hint of liquid, pure hard glass. The Danube slits Austria in the middle of dead winter, the dawn under the skies, its frigid ground, not as fiercely cold. It would not splinter if Tambernick's great anvil were to pound, or if Pietrapana fell there like a star, the thinnest edge would not have made a sound. The season when the peasant woman stares vaguely at the field wrapped with gleaming work, and frogs croak with their muzzles cresting air. The blue in their blood is chattering like storks. Head bones sunken, eyes down past the cheeks, where human shame shows itself in forks. Mouths testify the cold, their rigid necks bent toward ice, while hard-sunk eyes revealed their eternal station, miserable and bleak. Looking across that winter, I beheld toward my feet two spirits locked and seized in linked rigor so that their hair congealed, nodding both their heads. "You, crystallized chest to chest, who are you?" Necks slid and crackled in their coiled ice-caged eyes, glazed with the hard tears that they had shed down into their lips, while sub-zero cold choked and soldered fast those frozen lids. No frost-warped timber could ever be nailed so tightly. Mad as rams, loose bones cracked, rigid heads, and in a rage one wailed. "Why do you cast cold looks?" The ice had hacked the ears right off his cheeks. He seemed to stare through frostbitten skin all torn and black. "If you would like for me to name this pair, the Vicenzio cascades into the valley. They and their father owned once, who had shared a single womb. Go now, and if you please scour Oceana, you'll never find shades who deserve so richly their deep freeze. Not the one where Arthur's blade had skinned the shade from chest, not Focaccia, and not the one whose block of a head makes me half blind, since I can see no farther than that fat skull of Macercioni. Ah, but you with your Teucin, you will know all that. So that you plunder no words, please know, I was chemist gone to Pazzi, buried here. I await my absolution from Carlino." I saw 1,000 faces in a blur, frozen curves the image to this day, leaves my spirit shaken to the core by winter waters. Down we made our way, farther toward the final weightless spot that draws all loads. Shivering, I cannot say whether by chance or heaven's will or fate, but as I walked among those mournful heads, I trampled one face soundly with my foot. "Why," through his grasp of grief, he said, "tread me even lower is your mission, to complete the vengeance here among the dead Monteperti started?" I begged permission, master, to speak to him, but to uncover one mystery. "Then I'll run to where you beckon." He stood fast. The head still grieved and muttered bitter curses. Bending down, I spoke. "Who are you, who so condemns another?" "And who are you," he said, "who comes to strike cheekbones in Antora, a kick which would persuade me you were more than just lifelike?" "That I might live to do you some small good," I replied, "to bring your reputation's fame back to the world of flesh and blood." "I crave just the opposite. Let vision be rid of sight of you," he said. "Your fair flattery can mean nothing in this prison." "You'll tell me who you are, or else I swear," I snapped, his cold scalp warming in my vice grip, "I'll pluck out every single hair." "Strip me bald," he said. "It won't suffice for me to speak, not even if you pound my head 1,000 times against this ice." I yanked a tuft, another. As I wound his hair harder around my head, I heard amid his barks and yowls the frozen ground echo. "So that jawbone isn't cured of such music, Boca? Say, what devil, for all your barking, has you by the gourd?" "Now," I replied, "traitor spawn of evil, I have no need of your report. I'll bring back your shameful fate." "Do what you will," he replied, But don't forget to sing a verse or two above about that fool's forked tongue that just beat his drafty wings. Breathing silver made him France's tool. And I saw, and you can put it with a flare, down in the place the damned are kept quite cool, that Dora Duke, who else was there, vicarious thug, who Florence trapped and sliced his miserable gullet ear to ear. Gianni de Saldarni's also kept well preserved, Ganelon, Tibleldo damned for selling Fenza when the watchman slept. Leaving him cursing, we saw two spirits crammed fast in a single hole. One of the two gripped the headpiece of the other man. No wretch, mad with famine, ever chews a hunk of bread with quite as fierce a will as he who sunk his teeth just where the blue brain stem joined the nape. Today is full of rage, but Menelaus just so, he gnawed and lapped the bottom of the skull. You who made plain with such savagery your hatred for that man, may it be told why you use him so. And if I see the justice of the reason why you've quarreled, the cause of sin and why this one is cursed, I'll speak the truth back in the living world. If speech, that flower, does not wither first.